Hi, my name is Mrs. Zollinger, and today we'll be setting up our GMAW machine, or more commonly known as MIG. So first off, we are going to start with our PPE, which I have right here. First, in the shop, we always wear safety glasses. So my safety glasses have protection on the side of my eyes as well, and I'm going to put those on. These are certified by OSHA, and they're Z87. So next, I'm gonna put on my gloves, and these are welding gloves. So if you want to weld with any sort of like method with SMAW, GMAW, we use these. And then lastly, well not lastly, but we have our welding machine set to shade 10 through 12 is roughly what is estimated. And then when you're also doing this, you need a long sleeve 100% cotton shirt, which I have on right now, or if you wore a t-shirt, you could always have your welding hood over. You have your denim jeans, and then you have your leather boots. And what's the reason we have leather boots? So we have leather boots in case anything like any fire or any sparks happen, and they'll protect us. So our first things is we'll introduce this is our gas tank. It is 75% argon and 25% oxygen. This is the most commonly used gas that we use. This is our MIG machine. So first we have our regulator. So we have this, which is used, and then we also have our PSI, which is right here. This little screw is our tensioner, so that determines like how fast or how slow our wire will be coming out. This will be used just to hold it in place, because obviously we don't want our wire going all over the place and making a mess. We also have our two washers right here, and then we also have our little spring as well. So first off, you'll notice that we do not have it plugged in. This is for safety. So we have this not plugged in because we want to make sure that we don't get shocked in this process. So first we are going to set up our throttle. So first we are going to put our regulator on. So we always follow the rule, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So I'm going to put this in here. So what we do when putting the regulator on is we want to put it face up like this. We don't want to put it face down like that because we aren't able to see anything and aren't able to maintain what we are wanting when we are welding, especially that we want gas when we are MIG welding, of course. So I'm gonna tighten this, make sure this is good, and then for that extra protection, we are going to use our adjustable wrench. You can go back here and adjust, making sure we want to make sure the wrench is nice and tight on there, and we push it on there. So as you can see, I did everything for the regulator. I make sure it's faced up. Now we're going to take this clear metal tube. This connects the air, like the gas, to our regulator. So we're going to put this in. So obviously you can tighten it a little bit more. There you go. Yeah, make sure it's tight on there, and then this clear tube that goes from our gas to our regulator is going to also be connected to our machine as well, which is on the back side of our machine right here. And so because of the different things, we're gonna turn it to the left to tighten it, I believe. Nope, we're gonna do it to the right. Never mind. Right. So now that we have our bottle mostly set up, we're gonna now focus on the wire. So we wanna move from here this way. So first I have our wire taken apart. So first, this is heavy, I am so sorry. We're gonna put our wire in on our roller. We wanna make sure that this little hole matches up with this. So I'm gonna move this over. That way it can be lined up. There we go. Oh, I missed the hole by a little bit. I am so sorry. There we go. So once we put it on, we're gonna make sure that the wire is going over so it can easily be hooked into our feeder. Next, we're gonna put our silver washer, and it has two sides that are straight. We're gonna make sure that they're lined up with this right here and push it all the way through. That's bothering me. Okay. There we go. And push it as far back as we can. Next, we'll put our spring, put it in there, and then we'll also put our washer there. So next, we're gonna put our thing that holds it in place. I'm gonna make sure it's on. You'll notice how it kind of spins, obviously. Then we're gonna put our tensioner on there as well. And this kind of tells the wheel how fast or how slow to spin. Pretty careful. So we kind of want to do it, and then we want it to stop just like that. So I know I've put it on tight enough. Ready to stop. All right, so as you see here, I've already pre-cut the wire. And so our wire ends right here. So in order for us to have this be able to go fully through, I'm going to unravel this. Then, when we are using GMAW, we have to make sure that our wire feeder is completely straight, because you can get kinks in there, and that's what bends the wire, and so the wire isn't able to fully come through, and then you're not able to really be able to flow as well and such like that. So I'm going to open the spring just like this, so this is able to freely come through here. And we're going to pull all of this wire out. Oops. There we go. All right, so here. pull our wire out. So now our wire is bent. So I'm going to take my big pliers and I'm going to cut the wire like so, so it's straight. Then we have all these rollers that are going to make sure that our wire is going in and it's going to feed and stay straight. Replace this. We're going to feed it in to this little tube. So we're going to feed it through, feed it through, feed it through. Nope. There we go. So we're going to feed it through. And then we're going to try and fit it through this hole right here, which can actually take a little while. But I got it really easily. We're just going to pull it through a little bit. Like so. Okay. Then I am going to plug this in. It's right here, guys. Whoops. Turn the breaker on. And then our on switch is right here. So this turns everything on. So our volts control how fast our wire is going, and then our amps control how hot it is. So the hotter it is, I think like the more like heat that's going to be applied into the electrode and onto your workpiece. And then do I do it here? We're just going to wait until it comes out. We're getting there. Here, cut it. So to be able to have our wire going through, we need to close this and pull. How do I do this? Whoops. Hold on, cut. I cannot. So now we're gonna push this down and we're gonna press this up. And we see these numbers right here. We're gonna put it between 3 and 4. So we're gonna turn to the right. Obviously, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, and there are some exceptions to that rule whenever we are working in the shop. But I gotta bend down. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. Just make sure that we are tight. And now I'm actually gonna wear my welding gloves for this. Put those on. I accidentally put it on the wrong hand. Right. I'm so sorry, it's really hot in here, guys. REC does not work. Okay, so now we're gonna turn it on. And we see how the wire is going over and into our wire feeder to make it easy. Waiting. It's a lot of waiting, guys. It's a lot of waiting. There we go. Able to shut off our machine. So I turned it off obviously for safety because this is super hot because our amperage is all the way up, or as up as like I wanted it to be. I'm gonna cut this right here. So this right here is your arc length. This is how far away you're supposed to be, like when you're welding, especially like on your workpiece. This wire is your electrode that comes out, and that is how you are able to weld things together.